Hello everyone. Today let us discuss about an important topic called teamwork and transparency in functioning among teachers. So in this particular topic we'll be discussing what exactly is teamwork and how this teamwork and transparency among the teachers or among functioning in the functioning among the teachers, how it can play an important role when it comes to school and classroom environment or the interpersonal relationship that the teachers share in an institution. Moving ahead, let us see what are and how teams are formed. Teams are formed when individuals with a common taste, preference, liking, and attitude come and work together for a common goal. So it is basically a combination of all this, that is taste, preference, liking, and attitude, and a group of people who have a common goal or an attitude towards working for a given task. We can call that particular group a team. Teams play a very important role in organizations as well as in our personal lives. So, if we think about teams in any organization, it is a group of colleagues, then your institution as a team for that matter, maybe a group of students make a team, the administrative staff make a team, so these are all the teams. And when we think about teams in our personal life, our family is also a team, isn't it? So we are working towards the betterment of each other, our family together. So our goal, our taste, preference, liking, and attitude to an extent are similar. And we are working towards a common goal. So teams play a very important role in our lives, as we have seen, and also they play a very important role in any organization for that matter. And since we are discussing about school as an institution, we should also understand how the team can play an important role in order to create a conducive environment for the students. Moving ahead. Now, why teamwork is important? Now, when we think of teamwork, we can think of it as working together as a group towards a particular goal. So, why is working in team important? Because it's better way to work so that we can help each other. There are ways by which we can support each other whenever someone is finding it difficult to do a particular task. The other who is good at it can help that person. So it creates synergy where the sum is greater than the part. So we all know that the sum is greater than the part. So is working in a team is better than working individually. It is in the combination of the skills and expertise when the skills of one member complement the skills of another and compensate for each other's weaknesses, and that teamwork really works. So it is not only about helping each other, or it is not only a combination of skill and expertise, but it is also about compensating for each other's weaknesses. In a team there will be several people and everyone will be good at a different thing. So if all work together and if all can compensate for each other's weaknesses, that team can make or achieve the goal in a easier manner. It is a support, or maybe we can call a powerful way of working. It promotes flatter and leaner structures with less hierarchy. Teams have the capability of solving problems and making decisions together. So it is not a hierarchical, it does not have a hierarchical structure. All the members are given equal responsibility and equal position in the group, which we call a team. And this said that the teams have the ability or the capability of solving problems and making decisions together. If a team can do these two things together, then we can call that the team is working the right way. This is the right way for a team to work. Now, it encourages multidisciplinary work because there are many people and they are good at in their own field. So, in a way, it is a multidisciplinary group, and they are working towards a multidisciplinary in a multidisciplinary area and completing a task which we can call multidisciplinary. It fosters flexibility and responsiveness. As you are in a team, you can rely on the other person, so you are not overloaded, and you have someone to talk to, you have someone to take an advice from or suggestions from. So there is a lot of responsiveness, there's a lot of flexibility that is involved. It promotes sense of achievement and belongingness. So when you're working in a team, when you achieve something as a team, it develops a sense of achievement, and that feeling of winning something as a team is something different than you would do or you would achieve anything individually. And that feeling of belongingness, that you belong to this team, you belong to this particular group. Maybe when we think about in the context of school, we can say that I belong to this institution. So that belongingness is a basic human need. So it teamwork or being a part of a team provides you that. Time management and productive work output. Since there are many members in the team, you can manage the time very well by allotting the work to all the members of the team. And it also gives productive work output because all are working towards a common goal and they would definitely do it in the right way to achieve it. So it is most of the time, whatever the task that the group undertakes is always productive. Now, this was all about why team is important, why working in a team is important, what is team. Now, about the concept of team, we have to relate this concept to the school environment. So, as a teacher, you are part of a team of teachers or your colleagues. You are a part of a bigger group that is your school. So, you have to think when you read or when we discuss this concept in that particular perspective. Now, let us see an important topic called team formation. It is very interesting. Now, when we think of team formation, uh, we know what is team, we know why working in a team is important. Now, let us see how a team forms. So, here there are several stages by which the team or the group of people undergo, and then that group of people is called a team. Now, let us see how it is formed. So there are 5 steps through which teams must progress to become highly effective. So a team which is really effective, a very good team, has to go through 5 steps. Okay, let us see which are these 5 steps. They are forming, second one is storming, third one is norming, fourth one is performing, fifth one is adjourning. So these are the 5 steps, namely forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. So let us see in detail what exactly each of these steps say or what does it mean. Now when we talk about the first stage, that is forming, it is said that at this stage the individual team member have not become a team. Okay, if you consider yourself as a person who has just joined an institution, you are actually not a part of a team yet. They are still finding about each other and they need to be included. Okay, and the main issues at this stage are cohesion and involvement. Since you are very new and you're trying to understand each other, you're trying to understand that you need to get included in the team. So here it is like you're developing that cohesion, you're trying to develop that involvement with the group that is already existing. So here the main issues that an individual would struggle with are cohesion and involvement. Second one is storming. So this is the stage during the formation of team where the most conflict is encountered. And the major issues at this stage are team direction and management of conflict. So when you are a part of a team, there can be situations wherein your perspective is not matching with the perspective of the people in your team or members of your team. So there are chances that there might be some conflicts. So this is a very crucial stage, and many members of a team or a group, they leave at this stage without continuing to be in that because of the differences in opinion that they have. And here the major issues are team direction and management. So when we have to decide on something, there will be several conflicts, and if a person is not agreeing to the opinion of others, then there are chances that the person tend to leave the group. And it is also about, it is also how you manage the conflict that would occur. And having conflicts in a team is not bad because it is assumed that in a team there'll be people with different perspective, and it is not compulsory that all should have a common way of thinking or common Moving ahead, the third stage, that is norming. So this is a stage where the group norms are established, such as the norms of behavior and role allocation. The team focuses on goals and delivering results. So here, norming as in here, the group decides on how each one is supposed to behave, what work each member will do, and all those things. So basically here the rules and everything are decided. And here the focus is on goal and delivering results. So here we are focusing on the goal that they have to achieve as a team and a good output, a productive output that they have to give at the end, because of which the team is formed. Then the fourth stage is performing. So this stage is concerned with actually getting on with the task in hand and achieving overall objectives. So here the actual performance happens. So we have gone through the stages like forming, when you're trying to be a part of the team, then storming, when you're trying to get yourself in and trying to match your perspectives with the other members of the group, and then norming when you're a part of the rules and regulations of the team, and then then the time comes of performing. So here the focus is on achieving the goal that you have set for your team. So it is actually about getting on with the task and doing it. And the last one is, at this stage, the team may disband because they have either completed the task or fellow members have left. So here it is similar to these days, for everything we have our WhatsApp groups. So we form a team, we storm, then there are norms set, then we perform. And once the task is over, many members leave the group because the task is achieved and there is no further need to be a part of the team. But it is not always so. But there are many groups, or there are many associations which disband like that once the task is achieved, once the task is completed. So that stage of it is called adjourning, wherein the team disbands because either they have completed the task or the other members have left. So this is a common thing that you can notice in the WhatsApp group. We can call that WhatsApp group or consider it as a team, and just look at the stages through which every member of the team goes through, and you can understand the process of team formation. So this was all about how a team is formed. So if you have any queries related to this particular topic, please feel free to type it in the chat box. Thank you.